welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your monthly water tribe report. Pisces may catch strays. I'm not going to sugarcoat. Pisces, you may catch a lot of strays, but that's not the intention. That's not the intention. Okay. Welcome to your Aries season monthly water tribe report, the last of the series. I think tomorrow we have a cosmic energy tune up. So, looking forward to that. The cosmic energy tune up will also include a clapback. All right. Part two of the clapback. Um, the the emotion, psychic, metaphysical vibe quality of you represented by water is anchoring many of these feelings. Shout out to you, Pisces risings. I feel like you're embodying this. Pisces moons, feeling everything. Yeah, it's definitely adding an intensity of this transformation and restructuring of this transformation of status quo. So it's one thing to experience the what was originally status quo transform and see it kind of like crumble or just change. It's another thing to now awaken to those feelings and to accept those feelings. um for some of you, this can bring up imposter syndrome, survivor's guilt. None of this has to be rational. Some of you might be wondering why you're feeling survivor's guilt and you've never really had to survive anything. It's different if you were almost going to die. You know what I mean? This is welling up many of the, especially if you're a water sign, these subconscious angles, feelings, experiences, and it's getting ready to erupt in your face so that you can now, with this cleared space, accept the new feelings, accept how you've evolved, accept how you've grown. Many of you are outgrowing the comfort zones of other people, of how they see you, of how you fit in their box. And it is, I mean, when you're dealing with ego, when you're dealing with narcissism, when you're dealing with pride, there's a sense of denial real time that can block said, subject from even accepting that that's what's happening. So, let me just confirm that is what you're experiencing. Many of you are outgrowing at an accelerated, maybe light speed pace, maybe overnight for some of you, and that can be a lot for certain, especially I mean, no one who is secure in themselves will have a problem. Anyone who is secure in themselves stands on their own strength. They have their own power, so they're not going to be threatened by you leveling up. So, it's definitely, the insecure, the insecurities, the fakeness, because nothing real can be threatened. You know where I'm going with this. Basically, yeah. And it's beautiful because there's nothing you can do. Even your unconscious habit of holding back, you're not going to be able to hold back. You're going to continue to expand outside of this because certain people refuse to grow. Some people stop growing, they stunt their growth. They don't necessarily explore facets that hold them back. The reason why you evolved is because that's what you did. You did not necessarily allow yourself to just believe things. You tested your beliefs. You held your own self accountable. You did not bypass spiritually your shadow. This, of course, enables you to continue to grow and open your mind to that which previous you did not know. Certain people don't do that. They stop growing. They close themselves off to new information because it threatens the false castles they've built within their minds and hearts. So for you who actually is authentic, that threatens them. Even if on a subconscious level, if the nuances and the psychological fakery of, maybe just society in itself bounces off of you because you know who and what you are as an individual, as a soul. Okay. it's not like no one in the world ever goes through periods like this, but given how concentrated this period is, just pat yourself on the back for showing up, for being willing to, call your own self out wherever you lack integrity. Because it's not about calling other people out. Other people will be called out by the integrity of your actions. It's about making sure you hold yourself accountable, right? So, with that being said, I love that affirmation. I'm not committed to anything that isn't for me, and it's a process. It takes time to figure out what is for you. That helps you know what isn't for you. Help understanding what isn't for you also helps you understand what is for you. And thankfully this has made itself more clear because you have been more clear with the decisiveness of your actions. Word to Capricorn season and the Pluto conjunction that is looking like Hades' revenge arc. I'm not gonna lie, this is looking really petty, and I love it, but it's still very petty. Anyway, other than that, we did start this Aries season off with a sextile to Pluto, so that is very iconic. We haven't had a quality sextile like this since the 1700s. So yeah, buckle up. This Aries season has definitely set the tone. And we're going to talk about how this is going to work wonders for water signs, water risings, sun, moons. This is all your earth work houses. Okay. Um, so yeah, I think you definitely have a lot to look forward to. Um, it's been very amazing to look at Taurus and Cancer. Taurus and Cancer are so low key. We're looking at everyone else. You may not realize Taurus and Cancer, they're not the type to make noise. They're not Gemini and Aries that are going to just talk about it and make a rambunctious scene. They're not Leo and Sag that's going to kind of make it all about them and take all the attention. Taurus is chilling. Cancer is chilling. Like they stay low key. And it's nice to see Taurus and Cancer looking at Scorpio and Capricorn get exposed, and it's just like they're just sipping tea like, because before they were getting terrorized by, so Taurus is getting terrorized by Scorpio, Cancer was getting terrorized by Cap. They were standing as individuals. No one would listen to them. Everyone would listen to the people who got the society behind their back. And now Taurus and Cancer are just watching their ops get exposed, get their karma. And it's really nice to see them just chilling, just like, that's nice. That's nice. I've been peeping that. That's very interesting. Taurus, Cancer, moons, risings. That'll be interesting if, you know, you've been experiencing that, because your Taurus has definitely been saying some stuff, and y'all just been kind of like looking at Taurus like, what? No way. But look at them now. Look at them now. This is very interesting. Cancer, you're Cancer. You're coming up with a crazy. In fact, let's start it with that. Let's Cancer rising, sun, moon. A lot of people don't know Cancer is getting ready to start the new wave. Okay, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini are set up for Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. All right. 2025, Jupiter is going to get Cancer. And then at the end of the decade, like 2029, 2030, Cancer is going to get Uranus and Saturn. That's like that's like the World Cup. And I normally would say the Olympics, but we could say that's Jupiter. But just like a brand new franchise coming through. It's a lot. Cancer, you're getting ready to get reactivated. And that's really beautiful, because if the setup is going to carry on this new wave over the rest of the next decade, or really over the rest of this decade, and after 2025 and the next decade. And now, if we want to talk about this setup for you, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, Aries is now in that completion arc. For Cancer specifically, Aries is your 10th house of success. So you are concluding on everything you've restarted July, okay, of 2023. July, I tell the truth. All right. So with that, this is I've been looking at Leo rising and Cancer rising really beautifully because y'all have amazing 10th house transits. Gemini rising as well. Gemini got the Pisces 10th house. Leo got the Taurus 10th house. Magnifique. And Cancer, you got the Aries. You're the one who's destined for success. Any of you with like an Aries MC, whether that's as a Cancer rising, a Leo rising, it's important for you to know that the North Node going through your 10th house is activating officially with this eclipse the goals that you are meant to achieve, the success you are meant to achieve. The thing that I love about Cancer psychology is that's the crab. But if you look at their reputation, Cancer is the original act. Even though Aries is the original, Cancer, of course, what this signifies, right? I would love to use this example. If we take Capricorn as a 10th house placement, this is your reputation in a universal sign. That's like being the CEO of Starbucks, a Fortune 500 company that's not attached to your identity, right? So you might be the CEO, but you, of course, are building the brand that is responsible for maybe thousands of employees, right? Now, Aries MC, a Cancer rising with an Aries MC, is gonna be more like, and for those of you who have the Pisces MC, that's not uncommon. It will progress into Aries. Great point. The Aries MC is like being the owner of John's coffee shop. So now this isn't so much a 500 Fortune 500 company. This is your own business. This is your own coffee shop. The brand is attached to your identity. This is John's coffee shop. It has the potential to build a franchise later on. But now John's coffee shop doesn't have the pros of being the CEO of Starbucks. John doesn't have the resources Starbucks has. But unlike the Cancer MC, the Aries MC doesn't have to really own that much responsibility. The John's coffee shop, John can really now rep his brand however he wants. He has more autonomy over what he does, and not having the support of a corporation means that the success John made with his coffee shop is independent and individual to just him. Okay. uh 50 Cent is a classic example. 50 Cent is G Unit. You know what I mean? Like, he, by his own, of course he connected with people, but on his own he built that brand. You'll see this with many Cancerian archetypes and Cancer risings. That's the dopest thing about Aries in the 10th house. The success you gain is fully 100% independent on you. And this is why, even though Cancer gets this rap of being emotional, when it comes to putting themselves out there, they put themselves out there like the warrior, and they're going to be able to get at anybody, if not everybody. So it's something that's very interesting around your personality versus how you put yourself out there. But yeah, having that individual means that the fourth house of home is social. Hence, of course, your emotions are going to be at home in a balanced place. A social environment, any social environment that enables actual balance, is a home space for something as irrational as emotions, where you can feel as many things. But now, if we look at Cancer as what it truly is, psychic power, then now this really speaks of a superpowered foundation. All right. What does that mean? It means, one, Cancer, compared to 9 years ago, go back to 9 years ago, where you were really now unlocking this patriarchy, matriarchy, your own home space, your private space. This is a depart from that. You are unlocking the resources from your ancestry, from your family, from your private life, in order to come into your own success. The thing about this, though, is the South Node can sometimes hold you back. I have this aspect natally where my North Node is next to the MC. So I've lived it. I know what it's like. And what you might experience is elements of your family may hold you back. Social spaces, private connections made in social spaces with the most genuine people who even mean well, can potentially hold you back, because the North Node in Aries is unlocking a new, not persona, a new direction in your career, an idea, something authentic to you that will make sense to you and may not make sense to other people because you're the original one to do it. It may go against what is already balanced and established. Ideally, that balance is supposed to be a support for you, that home support for you, in order to do so. But You just want to make sure you don't let social influence private to you gaslight you or inadvertently hold you back from doing what you are challenged to do. That's aligned in authenticity. Shout out to Forest Fairy Tarot. She is one of the few people who I've had the opportunity to read all 5 of her children's chart. And I wish she was here. She would definitely let you know how much it's helped and enriched her. I love reading charts for children because it opens up so much more potential. Yeah, I can definitely give them, it will help you give them the parenting they need for sure. And it really helps you be up to date on cycles they're going through versus being older and realizing what cycles you went through. Now you can catch it while they're going through the first 7 years, 7 to 14, 14 to 21, 21 to 28. Those are the Saturn cycles. You can really tell a lot about a child's development by knowing what part of the Saturn cycle they are the first 14, 21 years of their life. So yeah, other than that, Cancer, everything that I'm saying is a fancy way of saying you are destined to succeed. The only, and this is cool because there's really nothing you can do to stop this. The only thing you can do to stop this success, everyone gets it, so it's your turn. Leo got this before you, right? The only thing that you can do to fuck this up is to not be authentic. That's it. If you're not coming from an original space and you're doing what you're doing because other people expect it from you, that is going to hold you back. And the reason why this is very important is what you're going to do is original. It's not, and as the 4 individuals are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, as the last individual before we break through into social activity, this is going to crystallize the authentic direction you take from the completion of harvest since January. Okay. Thankfully, Cancer is sincerity. So I don't think you have any problem being authentic. Amen. I think this is going to be very exciting for you because now your 11th house is lit the fuck up. And then Jupiter is going to transcend post May of this year your unconscious habits and beliefs. Cancer has 12th house Gemini. So whereas Libra is going to have paralysis of analysis with Virgo, with the 12th house Virgo, Cancer, you all be overthinking. I've seen this in my Cancer sister. And that's because y'all are so psychic, and the quality with which you pick up subtle vibrations that seemingly come out of nowhere or really are just other people's feelings can have you overthink what's happening, especially where you have to keep certain of these reflections secret. Anytime you kind of reveal that 12th house Gemini, you're literally revealing hidden thoughts that can leave you to be gaslighted and add to overthinking certain scenarios or getting lost in your thoughts. Now you're expanding these enlightened beliefs that enable you to live the best lifestyle. What zodiac sign archetype lives the best lifestyle? Cancer. Cancer has Sagittarius in their 6th house, which means they ascend and bring to a higher level other people's lives. All right. And their own lives. This is where the water archetype has fire signs in the workhouses, which means the work you're meant to do is supposed to be passionate to you. All right. Whereas others can get away with doing something they don't necessarily love. You have to really, even if you're working a boring job, you have to find a way to make it exciting, or you're not going to fulfill that, and not fulfilling that will create those problems. This is where through experience we see friction created. And that's an easy way to kind of look at the workhouses, right? Nika is starting to get it right now. It's very, very important. And when you do, this is why for other people who it may not work for, it will work for you because you put all your passion into what it is you love to do more than any other sign. I will always say water signs are the best at the law of assumption and manifesting because the feeling is the secret. So a lot of the stuff people practice, you already do automatically. All right. Anyway, once again, all of this is the first of 3 stages of completion, and the individual actions you take to like literally unlock the success you're destined to achieve over the next 10 years. Saturn is going to cement this in 2025 and beyond. You're immediately going to manifest rewards from career in your 11th house in Taurus season. You're going to start that chapter 11 cycle for you, which is chapter 2 for everyone, which is going to expand the unconventional wealthy quality of individual wealthy friends you have in your circle. All right. The people who, of course, put you in a position. Oh, Forest Fairy Tarot, you are here. We were just talking about how, because of who you have around your corner. Annie was asking about if it's a justifiable expense to get their kids' chart read. And I was mentioning how, you have shared, I was able to read, your children, how that was amazing. Once again, though, yeah, you're coming into the 11th house is net pay. It's the rewards from career. You're unlocking success you're destined to come into. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be very, very solid. All right. It's going to be a very the best way I can think about what that looks like, right? Kanye West was rumored to want to build his own city. That is a Uranus Jupiter application of the 11th. You're literally manifesting individually a collective that supports you. For many of you, this is going to work wonders on if you're on social media, if you're on the internet. Uranus applies a lot to innovative technology. The internet is going to apply to a lot of that. And Jupiter on Uranus in your 11th is expanding any social media followings. Even if you're not in social media, putting yourself out there in a very individual new way. Even if you do it in the same way, it's going to be seen in a new way. All right. So there's nothing you could do. Like the element of the nodes is going to have you through this eclipse unlock a new direction and come up into new goals. So the full moon up into this new moon is unlocking the preparation of that. All right. You're unlocking what foundation you have to have private to you so that you can meet what goals you have. You like the new, if you don't have any goals coming into them, you will. All right. You're destined to, everything that you've been going through is preparing you for this. Opportunities are going to fall on your lap because you're showing up. So it's not like you have to know what to do. You have already done it. Okay. A lot of what is going to harvest for you is the work you prepared 6 months ago, where we kicked off this eclipse cycle in Libra. So that was where you set your affairs in order and you began to release influences that do hold you back, integrated through Sagittarius, broken through with who you have integrity of awakening these partnerships, Pluto in your 7th, transforming through Aquarius, setting the belief in Pisces, and now applying that direction. Okay. So relative to that, I'm telling y'all, this is going to, I feel like there's serendipitous events throughout the next couple of weeks you're not going to really account for. And I think it should feel like a blessing. This is going to give some of you overnight successes, but they were never overnight. People just didn't see the work you did prior to it. Okay. So really keep that in mind. Jupiter 2023 already expanded what more you can achieve. So now the destiny is unlocking this expansion. And I'm telling you, this is going to work really good for your money. This is going to attract a lot more wealthy friends because you're moving in a more authentic direction. All right. It's a 1, 2, 3 for you. Gemini season is all about changing how you think about yourself, because the next 2 months is victory. Total Chariot card, which is the card of Cancer. So I just want to speak on that. Now, as far as the 9th house, just like I said, Capricorn is warping reality. Cancer, you have a version of this. You just have more of an end of, whereas Capricorn is coming at the God level, and Libra is warping based on their behavior, right? If Libra is warping based on their behavior and Capricorn is warping based on their attitude, Cancer, this is based on your philosophy. King Sigma, welcome to the Infinity Club. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back. So they're all really the same. It's not necessarily, all these signs are connected. So I'm just breaking it down just to give you a visual. It's not necessarily like they're that different. It's just giving Capricorn is coming at a collective level. It will require less effort. Cancer, this is your philosophy. What beliefs make up your philosophical approach? Because with Virgo in your third house, that is the analytical attitude that you possess that enables you to see beyond the physical. All right. Cancer is the psychic because Pisces is the ninth house of philosophy and God. That means the ninth house of their vision and philosophical approach is in the metaphysical sign of Pisces. That means that they can see the unseen. And what do psychics do? They don't use physical senses to see what's unseen. They use their psychic ability through imagination in order to feel metaphysical qualities and natures beyond what's physical. And with their critical attitude, they can line it up. Okay. I just had a dream that my partner was cheating on me. And then I use my critical third house Virgo to look at, oh, okay, you were texting this lady and you were going to meet up with them. Now my psychic insight is matching reality. This is why Cancer is some of the most gaslighted zodiac sign, because that's the only way you can deal with the psychic. If I'm now dealing with someone that can discern the truth beyond the deductive reasoning, you're a threat. You're a threat. And any Cancer rising sun and moon has experienced this their whole life. Even me going through the progression, I'm a progressed Cancer sun and rising. And I'm just like, is this what Cancer? How do you do this? It is not easy being a Cancer. You have to deal with microaggressions, people throwing shade knowingly and unknowingly. At least as a Gemini, I could just be oblivious to my thoughts. As a Cancer, I'm feeling all that shit. How do you not be moody? How do you not just want to stay home all the time? This shit is ridiculous. And then people, God, this shit is disgusting. I don't know how y'all fucking deal with it. Then you got to feel people's putrid vibrations and ugly ass auras. Like, water, I don't now going through Cancer makes me understand why Scorpio hates people and why Pisces escapes. These motherfuckers are unscrupulous. I almost felt bad for gaslighting water signs. Almost. But still, I just can't. I look at y'all totally different now. I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers, this psychic. Jesus Christ, this is crazy. Oh my God. And y'all be literally hearing their thoughts too. It is crazy with Cancer. Like, unlike Scorpio is vicious. Scorpio will scan your mind. They'll just look through your thoughts like a Rolodex. Cancer is not trying to read your thoughts, but they're so psychic. Now they just hear your thoughts. They're not even trying to read your mind, but it's just like, oh, fuck, let me help this person. Now Cancer has to heal you so that they don't feel your pain. Like, so many Cancers are like unintentional healers. You be thinking they care, and it's like they kind of have to. They don't really have a choice, but it is. And then Pisces takes it a step further. They'll just troll you. They'll play with you. This is classic Pisces. You'll be thinking about G.I. Joes. Oh, I'm going to get a G.I. Joe action figure. And then the Pisces 2 minutes later will be like, hey, I was just thinking about G.I. Joes and if I should play. Now you're looking at the Pisces like, motherfucker, what? Is that a coincidence? No, that motherfucker was trolling you. That motherfucker was trolling you for their own amusement. Okay, at least Scorpio will be strategic with it. Pisces really just wants to fuck around. Like, I don't understand that shit. It is what it is. That should be driving me so fucking crazy. Oh my God. At least Sagittarius sees what y'all do. I'm not Sag. And I don't have Virgo or I'll get at you. It is what it is. Healing someone hates you is rough. Yes, Cancer. Oh my God. The way y'all been healing your ops reluctantly, that is just painful. Anyway, it is what it is. You're definitely going to enjoy the challenges. Everything about the North Node is a challenge. You're challenged to unlock this success by saying fuck you to everybody who does not align with your awesome. Like, I'm telling you, like, you're going to make certain decisions and people are going to be like, that's not right. No, that's too raw. No, that's just, and like, for all intents and purposes, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the classy thing to do And people are going to want you to fall back on the classy thing to do. And then there's the raw thing. There's the thing that's authentic to who you are that only you might get. Like, that's the challenging thing. And you just have to be like, well, suck my dick. I'm going to do it anyway because only you can do it. This is the thing, Cancer. Only you can. Everyone else can do it, but they're not going to do it like you do it. So your phrase is, if you don't do this, who else is going to do this? And this is for your legacy. This is going to unlock a new direction and cycle in your legacy. The thing with North Node Aries power like this is people will get it later. It's going to be after you do it that they're like, oh, or they're still going to hate. It doesn't matter if they hate or not, but you did it. Okay. And it's not anything that you're in the dark about. It's very clear. It's authentic to you. I want to talk about the Pisces ninth house though, because Mars and Venus is going to have you act off of this contract. How does this work? Pretty much the same way for everything, all the cardinals. Everything that you're imagining is what is experiencing real time. Okay. And the reason why I want to speak on that is, unlike Capricorn, who's going to engage this with their general attitude and how they think, for you, it's going to be influenced by how you think, but more so bigger picture and philosophically. This is going to be tied more to your beliefs. And it's literally having you, it doesn't have to be super delusional, but it's having you literally create a world based off of your philosophies, a system of beliefs that will also open up you teaching people how to see, many of you are coming authorities over your psychic powers and abilities. No, I don't believe so. Just having an 8-degree Cancer sun, my South Node is 8 degrees Leo. So we're soulmates. You knew me. We knew each other in a past life. Shout out to the Leos. All right. But does having that have lots of influence from the Cancer house? Not necessarily. It only will if you fall back to that. Cancer 12th house or 12th house to the sun is really just going to represent your unconscious emotions. So provided you don't fall back on that, then it shouldn't really, if you don't have any Cancer placements. But yeah, Cancer, that's basically all I have to say. This is unlocking success for you. And over the next 6 months, you're going to harvest this success, wrap back around July. And this is going to be you now identifying as the one who did and unlock this over the past 3 months in July. Then you're going to come back to October, wrap it up. The 10th to 4th house activation is now I have to shift my home space because I gained success in my career. Normally, when we gain career success, we take the money, we allocate it back home. We get new places or we renovate our place. So this is going to be a powerful 6 months for you. And I hope you enjoy it. Scorpio, not all. All right. Okay. Here's the deal. Pluto is in your 4th house. That is not comfortable. Pluto is getting ready to expose the library that you are at home with, the cosmic family, the collective in your private life. It's getting ready to reveal secrets about your family that have been kept from you, that you may never have known, that you may have suspected, and they're finally coming through. This is a 20-year chapter. Okay. So yeah, this could really also be good towards sustainable development and kind of transforming the nature of how you even live. But outside of that, this is heavy integration. Okay. Heavy integration. 4th, 5th, and 6th house being activated. All right. A lot of sensitivity coming from you or around you, where like there's really nothing somebody can say, but you're just so bothered by someone. You're just like, oh, he's a lame, he's a loser. And it's like, what are you even saying? Like, break down what you're even saying. Is that just how you feel? Is there anything about that based in reality? Or is that just what you have to say to make yourself feel comfortable? They don't fucking know. They don't fucking know. They're preaching it to their choir. It's just a bunch of this murky energy that's once again more of an expression of strength. It's letting you see where you stand amongst weaker characters and energies just by breathing, just by existing. So it's a lot of that in the air. You know what I mean? Once again, watch out for your private circle, because even though Pluto rules your sign, you know what I mean? Even a lot of WLBs tests, a lot of stupid little bitches. You feel me? Just there, it's like getting your psychology exposed at a core level almost makes your existence obsolete, to the point where you have to fall back on like high school taunts, high school insults, because that's all you really are, a bitch. Like, it is what it is. And it's crazy to see. Scorpio, it's even crazier to see with people who are supposed to be personal to you, private to you. Anyway, we know that 2015, Saturn went through your sign, activated that karmic cycle. Now it's integrating in your fifth house. All right. Jupiter activated a new evolution cycle for you, 2018. It's getting ready to harvest in your seventh house. So you've gone through like 6 years worth of personal development and evolution. Once again, especially with Uranus opposite the sun, like, be open. Like, you have to, especially when what a lot of what you're doing is innovative. Take what I do, for example. There are a lot of people who are looking at me like, oh my gosh, you're talking about the stars, you're talking about astrology. Like, what are you even talking about? So they don't know what I'm talking about, but they know enough to talk about what I'm talking about. It's irrational. Like, people are not aware of how irrational and stupid they are. It's like, you are feeling the way you feel because you didn't do your research, you didn't study it, you didn't satisfy the burden of proof. And so your literal ignorance and misunderstanding is having you project that on someone who is actually knows what they're fucking talking about. You feel me? So I'm using myself an example. Imagine it's like, oh, what you're doing is innovative and it's unconventional. But imagine, like, oh, you're talking about the stars. Meanwhile, they don't even know what their moon sign is. Look at the irony of that. They don't even know their moon sign. They don't even know enough to critique. And now you can see it's just a reflection of their stupidity, their ignorance. They don't like feeling ignorant. It's uncomfortable. So that's what it's like to have Uranus in the seven. People can project on you. A great example of this really is Diddy, right? If you think everything that's happening to him is blowing up in his face, in his house of open enemies. That's where with Scorpio, whether for better or for worse, based on other people in the seventh house, things are blowing up in your face. You're having to deal with things very unexpectedly, very unconventionally. Uranus is going to project unconventional facets of your behavior and lifestyle through other people to you. And all this is just an unconventional evaluation of the value that you manifest with and for others. All right. Of course, when people are intimidated, when people are insecure, they feel the need to feel better than others. And this is where such trite projections come true, which really just do more to serve to show how much more powerful you are with the way people play their hand. Personally, for example, my self-esteem is not shaken, and this is from a logical place. My self-esteem is not shaken by people who look at what I do as pseudoscientific, as weird, because I just have to ask logical questions. Every single person who thinks that, how many of them have studied what I do? Zero. How many of them actually know what we do? Zero. How many of them know their moon sign? Zero. So it would be irrational for me to take offense to something that's not even offensive, when in reality, it's the other way around. That's where narratives and the way people kind of like talk stuff can cloud the vision of truth. And you don't want to necessarily fight battles that you don't have to fight because they're not based on truth and logic. Someone who is secure in themselves can base their observations in reality. It's people who are not real, and so they're threatened. When you ask them to base it in reality, they start changing the subject, they start deflecting, because on the surface you wear expensive clothes, you put yourself out. On the inside, you're a little bitch, you're a stupid little bitch, and we see you, and we see you, and we see you. You're seeing a lot of people preach to their choir. You're seeing a lot of people feed their insecurity, but they're still hungry. They're still hungry. It's not working. Okay, so just keep that in mind, especially once again with like Pluto in the fourth, and then Uranus, and then Uranus in the seventh, and then Uranus in the seventh. It is what it is. We see you. So, this is getting ready to prepare you, Scorpio, for a brand new cycle of relationships that have been 7 years in the making since 2018. You're integrating 6 years of personal evolution so that you can manifest unconventionally expanded relationships that reflect your value. And the key to that is Aries. Bye. Aries is the sixth house of your behavior, which is unlocking the healing and shifting of how much more authentically you live your life so that you can integrate that in your relationships with other people. Those individual actions you are unlocking, this authenticity in your behavior and routine, is attaching healing to your work. So for many of you, this can unlock a healing path, especially if some of you since 6 months ago have been prepared to meet people who can teach you energy healing or medicine, or even if you're a teacher of typing, the way you do it will bring healing to people's behaviors. Okay, but this is also how you are healing elements of your lifestyle, any bad habits, any kind of like smoking habits, exercise regimens that need to be instilled. This is going to be an amazing time to inspire this to activate 6 months from now. This will now represent unconscious. This will now represent unconscious habits. Every time you see me snap my finger, I caught a body. Someone just died straight up. All right. I'll be catching psychic strays doing this. I'm not in these broadcasts. So I know you guys will see me snap. That's just me refocusing. Someone just died. Anyway, other than that, bye. Okay. Other than that, yeah, this is going to represent unconscious habits and beliefs, social actions that influences that you will release based off of individual actions that aligned your behavior. All right. Very dynamic, very dynamic. Jupiter last year expanded what more you can do and accomplish in your routine. And this is enabling you to once again integrate this unconventional expansion in your seventh house. Now, what's really dope about this is there is a very, very divine creativity that with Neptune helps you channel this insight from literally the realm of imagination. And this is what's going to color how creatively your lifestyle is. This is really where the integration is happening for you. So Scorpio, Sag, and Cap are your activation. You activate the quality of wisdom. You manifest that quality in ascended light, King Los. I don't need it. And then you direct the quality of this ascension magic into the integrity, Capricorn. That's the activation. We then integrate this wisdom, Aquarius, with knowledge. We wisdom is at home in knowledge. Okay, bars, by the way. And so this fourth house now converts to the fifth. That knowledge gives us a perspective. With that perspective, that Scorpio taps into creatively. That's why Scorpios are obsessed with Pisces. That's why Drake is still talking about Rihanna. All right, because Scorpio loves Pisces. It is what it is. And Pisces always gives Scorpio the slip because Pisces really loves Cancer and Libra. But other than that, yeah, I said it. Other than that, that creativity now directs in Aries, where we take that perspective, very divinely creative, and we strike through authentically, originally. Okay. And this really puts you in more of a position to not only add more autonomy to any income, passive income, or the work you do, which can bring passive income, but it's also going to prepare to transform your investments when Jupiter goes into the eighth house in Gemini. which is opposite your second house of Sagittarius. And once again, if you don't understand the nuances, if you don't understand these terms, if you don't understand what I'm saying, a lot of what I'm saying sounds like jargon. And it could just sound like blah, 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 this planet, this sign, this planet. So it's like, yeah, personally, that's cool to say unless you didn't do the research. Like if you didn't study it, that's why it sounds like jargon. It is what it is. You getting it from the peace dealer. Ain't nobody, you're not getting any better. Motherfuck the big three, nigga. It's just big me. Okay, it's a big astrologer peace dealer. Okay, I got no peers. I ain't got no competition. You know what it is. Infinity gang. Okay, it is what it is. Hit the motherfucking books so you can understand your boy. Okay, I ain't tripping. But yeah, this is very behavioral. This is meant to unlock blocks in your behavior. All right, so that you can get out your own way. And this is going to expose what relationships hold you back. You're wanting to cut bad food and your friends keep inviting you to where they serve bad food, making fun of your choices. You don't have to cut them off, but just draw those boundaries. Reinforce how it is you want to live this. Your dedication to this over the next 6 months, you're going to be straight. You're going to be straight. You're going to be straight. Okay. This is all setting you up for next month, where you're going to really step into the next level of partnerships. That's the cycle for you. This is going to attract relationships to you that expand and evolve you and vice versa. Okay. So relative to that, you have to make sure that the routine and the behavior you're integrating is authentic enough to match that and vice versa. Okay. That's crazy. All right. That brings us to the genies, the divine trolls. Okay. Pisces, you already know what it is. It's motherfucking up. You got Mars, you got Venus, you got Saturn, you got Neptune, and soon you'll get the North Node in your sign. So Pisces, you've been cooking up a fucking storm. You've been terrorizing Virgo. I've been peeping that. I'm not going to get in the way of your beef. I will just, mildly instigate it. I'll let Sagittarius do the rest of the instigation. But I don't know what to say to you or Aquarius. You're a whole cloud. Like, this is crazy. Like, what is it like to have Neptune in your sign? Like, you literally are this astral realm. Just by you, that's the most important lesson of this since 2012. Neptune is reminding you of the magic of your presence. So this North Node Aries is unlocking a new sense of self-worth. Namely, the reason why people will always look at you, Pisces, like you're delusional is you are coming up more with, this was always a suspicion, but you're coming up more with more awareness. All right. And because what is Pisces? Pisces is extrasensory perception. Pisces moon is literally being able to feel metaphysical mechanics, shit that's not here physically. You're feeling everything that's beyond. You feel all the vibes. Pisces sun means that you are aware of the extra senses. You have extrasensory perception and you're aware of this. Pisces rising means you embody this vibration. So having Neptune go through there and Saturn, there's a causality that's enabling you to confirm your suspicions that, hey, I am so fucking magical that my presence has value. I can walk into a room and just because of my vibe, I'm going to make that space more valuable. Sagittarius does this, but Sagittarius has 10th house Virgo. Sagittarius can really just pull the numbers and be like, I'm going to bring 100,000 people. You're going to pay me to show up. Pisces, people are going to call you delusional because it's harder for people to see how you basically created a miracle the moment you stepped in the room. All right. Which means now your sense of value is individual to you. You know what you do. Other people may call cap because they don't have extrasensory perception like you. This is why Pisces is the fraud as well as the legend and martyr, because the Pisces in the dark side, that dark fish, can take advantage of the fact that they see what others don't see and just start making shit up. Pisces can establish realistically. See, remember how I was right about this intuition? Well, now my intuition is saying you have to pay me $500. That's the dark side of Pisces. The positive side is in integrity. This is, of course, the supernatural ascended master. All right. And Neptune is bringing with Saturn a crystallization of the divinity that you are and represent. This is beyond anything I can put into words. And a lot of you are keeping silent about what this is like. I can understand because none of this can be put into words. But yeah, just know that I know. I don't know. I can say that to Aquarius. To you, just know that I have an idea. Don't Pluto about to go in your sign too. I'm just saying. So, but other than that, before I even talk about Aries, before I even talk about Taurus, because you're getting ready for this for you is activation, whereas for Scorpio it's integration, and for Cancer it's completion. For you, Pisces, this is straight up activation. All right, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus is activation. Okay, you're gonna start integrating post May with Jupiter. Jupiter's gonna expand the foundation of truth. So why is Gemini the fourth house of home to Pisces? Because your belief, Pisces, is at home with the truth. It's at home with your thinking. You rest your beliefs on your thoughts, and these are all mutable. Okay, so because you're activating an expansion of everything you believe about yourself relative to the synchronistic experiences that is having you be the dream to lead humanity, the final zodiac sign, Jupiter over the next year has to expand the home of thoughts that will rest these expanded beliefs on. Now that I'm facilitating magic that's beyond what I thought was possible, now I have to experiment with new thoughts. Now I have to expand more what I think about myself and where I rest this. And of course, Taurus has Jupiter and Uranus, Aries has the North Node in Chiron, and Pisces, you have all the stellium. This is all your activation, the first 90 degrees. Okay. 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90. And this is like being a remote control. Like third house Taurus is anchoring the supernatural, extra dimensional, metaphysical quality of your aura, of your existence. And through your grounded attitude, through your body language, through your five senses, it's having you affect causality. It's having you snap your fingers and things manifest. You're like the final version of what everyone's awakening. All right. And that's where, like Aquarius, like you're very controversial. Science is called Aquarian science fiction, and it's called you fantasy. All right. It is postmodern. In postmodern science, you are still being taught that dreams do not have precognitive effect. But I know many Pisces suns and moons who have had precognitive dreams, some about that I was involved in. I know some who have spoken to mediums, are mediums. I have one on the team. And so that's the difficulty of existing in a society where magic is outlawed. Libra is your eighth house. This is to account for illusions, but it can also now take legitimate experiences and attempt to gaslight you mercilessly into your own dimension where you feel misunderstood your whole life. So Saturn is having you be the integrity, and it is literally making you a gangster. Shout out to those of you born 95, 93, 94. You were born gangsters. The moons, the soul reapers, the suns, spirit reapers. So this is really, really cool because now that you have activated this new karmic cycle, all right, with Saturn and Jupiter 2 years ago, I don't give a fuck, and Jupiter 2 years ago, this Aries is the first step forward towards literally manifesting your original value. You are activating the power of magic. What this is going to do is you're the most magical motherfucker in this bitch, Pisces. So you're literally going to be able to slap your fingers and just quite literally activate your original power. All right. This is all about unlocking new self-esteem because you are taking individual actions that draw in your value. The South Node in the eighth house is gaining money, other people's money, eighth house from other people, Libra, so that they can invest in your own value. All right. Virgo is doing the opposite. Virgo is taking their own money, their own South Node second house to invest in individuals. Pisces, you're the opposite. You are gaining trust from the right people. And that's what you've been doing since October. This is where you were like, hey, I'm about to put some new shit out, invest. Now you're getting ready to activate it and build on that before people return on investment 6 months from now. All right. So this is very powerful. The greatest example of this is Princess Rihanna. Okay. No, I'm not joking at all. Rihanna got the Aries moon, Pisces sun. So she's the Taurus signature of this. What does that look like? One woman created a $1 billion empire. That's fucking legendary. That's Aries in the second house. You can manifest your own value. And Pisces is limitless, so there's no limit. And that's why Pisces is the legend, the queen treasure of Barbados, right? Floyd Mayweather went 50-0. None of that shit is normal. I'm calling you out. Fucking Shaq, Steph Curry changed the face of the NBA. Like I'm gonna snitch on y'all. I'm just gonna wait until a year and a half because y'all fuck the game up every time you enter the game. It's just like, oh, Pisces is here. We have to do some new shit. It is what it is. But like, yeah, take Rihanna as inspiration because this is what every Pisces rising, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, you're going to feel. It is an unlocking of your raw value. It's just, well, since the last 12 years, what your yesterday's price is and today's fucking price. So like you have expanded so much more how much fire you have. You got the fire. You got the fire. You got the raw fire. And it's time to define who you are through this value. Many of you are progressed in the Aries too. So it's going to kick it off. A lot of shit's going to kick off through you. And why this is very important is you're literally a walking portal. Oops. Am I allowed to say that? I'm not allowed to say that. I'm going to say it anyway. So if you're around Pisces, suns, moons, or risings, progresses, you need to understand that they are active portals. Okay, Neptune, your society has lied to you about what Neptune even represents. And I don't just mean the planet. Neptune represents the astral realm of imagination. All right, things that exist in your imagination are as real as you here. They're not real in the sense that we perceive them, but like they exist. You wouldn't necessarily think that things that exist can connect with us the way we could. To us, we imagined it. To them, they created themselves through you. You were the portal that created it. It was just infinite potential, but we don't think of it. We see with 3D senses. We cannot see beyond the 3D. All right, the 5D imagination, you know what I'm saying? And that's just a tentative example of the 4D is your mind. We can say the 5D is your imagination, right? So this fifth dimensional consciousness overlapping on the 3D gives Pisces augmented reality. But if you're around a Pisces, they are an event space, like they are an entire portal. And Neptune is here. And so this is why you're seeing more synchronicities around them. That's a horrible explanation, but just keep that in mind. You can draw stuff out and through them, but like paranormal shit will happen more now that Neptune is in the third decan. And I sound fucking delusional as hell because we don't have the vocabulary or words to make sense of this, but doesn't mean you're not going to experience this. Okay. Aqua behind and Aries in front is crazy. It's fucking crazy. Thank you, Echoist. Like, why? That's why I'm always asking what Virgo answers the question how. Gemini answers the question what. Sagittarius answers what it means. And Pisces answers the question why. That's why they do shit. And you're just like, why? But why? And they always know the answer why, but they're going to pretend they don't. So like, yeah, this for some of you is going to not only unlock manifestation powers that are raw and original to yourself that you'll name coming into the next few months, but it's going to attach healing to it. So just like I was telling Aquarius that they're unlocking healing abilities of slapping the shit out of people and healing them, Pisces, you can do that too. I'm not saying you have to slap them, but you can. And this will be your power. All right. So the authenticity you manifest this direction with is going to set the tone for your attitude. Your chapter 2 for everyone is chapter 3 for you. Jupiter in your third house starting in Taurus, which is going to expand unconventional supernatural abilities that make basically 2010 was the last time you had Uranus and Jupiter in your sign. So what that 2010 cycle up until now did was that it expanded your belief in yourself and it enabled you to be a vehicle for miracles. Now things you're imagining are happening. Well, what if we can take that process of manifesting things that happen that you imagine down to a snap on your finger, down to your five senses where it's real? That's what this Taurus arc is. It is now condensing materially and tangibly what you have been building for 2 decades plus. And I am so motherfucking jealous. As a Gemini, like my Gemini looks up to Pisces. My Taurus rising looks up. I am so fucking jealous. Like I like to do magic abilities and spells, and just knowing that y'all don't even have to try the shit. Like I have to spend 15 minutes to do a magic spell that you farted and did 5 times more potently. I am fucking jealous as fuck. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. It is what it is. That's why I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I kind of feel a certain way giving you this reading. Fuck all that. Like what? It's like you Pisces, you make me reevaluate why I even do anything I do. Pisces energy is like, I worked 5 years to make $500,000. Pisces, you fell on the ground accidentally, put it on TikTok, and now you have $5 million from the money. It's like, what the fuck did I work hard for? What the fuck? This motherfucker wanted to fart and go viral and make more money than I made in 5 years. Yeah, I'm a little jealous. Yeah, I'm a little fucking jealous. What the fuck is this? They are really great to manifest with. But like, what? It just makes you look like, well, does my life even mean anything anymore? Like, what did I even do all this shit for? Like, wow. Anyway, it is what it is. I know I be sounding like I'm hating, and maybe I am, but you didn't have to be so magical. It is what it is. So there you go, Pisces. I said everything I said to say you're going to make a lot of goddamn money. This archetype you're going through is quite literally like creating a Kickstarter. You're getting ready to create a new product and you're gaining investment from people before you launch it. And this could even just be trusting in the right relationships that support your value. But money, everyone's kind of coming into some money, specifically Aries, fire signs or water signs. But your coming into money is not just in a new way, but you're like unlocking new value, original value, something that is only yours. Okay. And I think that's cool. Is it true that the sun is actually still in Pisces until April 13th? I'm so glad you asked. Let's just nip this in the bud. I want to bring up some articles. First of all, New Dates Astro.com. Please read this article. New dates for sun signs, right? Read this, please. Okay. Because this disinformation that's being spread is from ignorant peons who don't know shit about shit and for some reason are talking about astrology. So I'm so glad you asked that question. Let's go to, yes, I said it, ignorant peons. I'm talking my shit this year. Gemini's back. I'm talking my shit this year. I was holding back from talking shit. I'm talking shit. As you can see, April 13th, the sun will be 23 degrees Aries because of the precession of the equinox. If you take your chart right now and you put it back 23 degrees, if you put all the planets in your chart 23 degrees, it will show you where the stars are in the constellations. So 23 degrees of Aries is where in the constellations, the sun finally enters the constellation of Aries. The reason why that is stupid as fuck is because zodiac signs are not constellations. So people who are telling you that don't know the difference between zodiac signs and constellations. Both can be true. Right now, the sun is in the zodiac sign of Aries, but it's in the constellation of Pisces. But I'm not a stupid idiot. So I'm not going to tell you that the constellation is a zodiac sign and share disinformation that confuses you. Thankfully, I'm going to clear this up. And astro.com, read that article, new dates. Astro.com, beautiful articles. And it's built from people who actually practice and study this and don't try and like talk to you high. All these people saying this bullshit be talking to you high and mighty, like, oh, y'all don't even know that sign shifted. Like, what audacity do they have to be talking down on you? And they don't even know basic shit. So it is what it is. I'm so glad you asked. Had to clear that up. I'm not trying to hear any fucking astrophysicists who have never read a natal chart talk about the signs have shifted because you don't even know your moon sign. And that's what we represent. Voices, individual voices like me and other people. I'm not the only person talking about this. Because we're talking, we are shifting that status quo. We're not getting paid for it. We're getting ridiculed for it. And it's not stopping us. That is how you lead a revolution. All right. You guys stay blessed as always. Okay. David, thank you very much for the Cash App. I appreciate you. All right. Pull some tarot for you. Positive aviation. Positive attitude aviation. We got, of course, the hangman for you. This period is enabling you to transform your personality. We literally just got the death after. So you're surrendering yourself to your higher self. And this is bringing, of course, a different perspective. You're getting ready to be enlightened due to just surrendering and coming into a new perspective. And King Sigma, we have the Six of Cups for you. Soulmate card, but I also want to say with the High Priestess, a very powerful spiritual connection, coming into nostalgia, through that nostalgia unlocking facets of your psychic abilities by coming into a deeper understanding of maybe certain memories you had in the past and how that might have shaped and affected you. But all around pleasurable vibes, really dope vibes. I think you're going to enjoy that. You guys, once again, stay blessed as always. All right. Be mindful. A lot of people don't like your growth. A lot of people do like your growth. And I'm not trying to say it's you versus everyone, but there are people who are threatened by your growth, and because none of what used to work for them isn't working, you're seeing more of the ugly side they try to hide, and you need to know that's going to end with you slaying them. Some of you may not be aware that you're about to slay these same forces who are finding problems with you. You're not, and that's the whole vision. It's like, imagine somebody picking a fight with you who could have stayed in their own lane, and then you destroy their career. Like if they just stayed in their lane, if they didn't worry about you, they would have still had a career. But because they try to mind your business, now people are at their funeral. That's crazy. And on that note, I'm out this bitch.